Yo, YouTube fam, how y'all doing? TM Nation, how y'all doing? It's great to see you guys again. I hope you guys that celebrate Christmas had a great holiday. It's your boy Tecmo here again, back again with another review and unboxing. And today we have another pickup from Skullcandy. These are the Hesh ANC Bluetooth wireless headphones. Now, to cut down on some of the confusion, you have two new pairs of Hesh headphones that you can choose from. You have the Hesh ANCs, and then you also have the Hesh Evos. Now, there is a price difference, of course. The Hesh ANCs go for $129.99 retail, and then the Hesh Evos are a little bit cheaper at $99.99. I don't currently have a pair of the Hesh Evos, but if you guys are interested and want me to do a video on those, drop a like on the video and let me know in the comment section. However, for the Hesh ANCs, these are going to give you Bluetooth 5.0 active noise canceling, which the ANC represents. You're going to get USB Type-C for charging, about 22 hours on a single charge, and overall a nice and upgraded design from the original Hesh headphones. Of course, like I always do, I'll go over more of the specs and the features of the Hesh ANCs a little bit later on in this video, but for those of you that want to know what you'll get if you decide to pick a pair of these up, let me unbox them for you. Alright, so taking a look at the box, you get nice presentation with the Hesh ANCs, and if you own a newer pair of Skullcandy earbuds or headphones, the packaging will be familiar. Inside of the box, you get pretty much everything you would need to get the headphones up and running, but it is important to note you do not get a hard carrying case. Like with the Crusher Evos, you're gonna get a carrying bag that is not quite as nice as the Crusher Evo bag, but it does get the job done. Other than that, you get a quick start guide that will get you up and running with the essentials. There is also a standalone user manual. Followed by that, you get a USB Type-C cable to charge the headphones, a 3.5mm cable if you want to use them in wired mode, and last but not least, you get your Skullcandy Hesh ANC headphones. Taking a look at the headphones, they have a nice subtle look to them that is not too much in your face. They are packing 40mm drivers, so they're on par with most other active noise canceling headphones. Now, at the time of the video, there is only one color option that you can choose from with the Hesh ANCs, which is the black with the subtle gray accents. But overall, the design is fine for me. These look more premium in my opinion than the older pairs of Hesh headphones. These look closer to what you'll get with a pair of Venues or a pair of Crushers. The overall construction of the headphones is pretty sturdy as well. I don't hear many creaks or anything of that nature, and they're relatively flexible. You can also completely fold them up or lay them flat on a surface, so if those are concerns for you, they got you covered. And comparing the Hesh ANC design to the design of the Venues, the Hesh ANCs feel slightly heavier and they feel a little bit more sturdy. However, on the other hand, comparing them to the Crusher ANCs, the Hesh ANCs are noticeably lighter and don't feel quite as premium. But I say all of that to say this, I still own all of my pairs of Skullcandy headphones. As you can see, my Venues are right here in my hands. All of my Skullcandy Crushers are behind me on my headphone wall, and all of them still work without any issues. For battery life with the Hesh ANCs, you can expect to get about 22 hours on a single charge with ANC on, and that number is about middle of the pack in terms of ANC headphones that I've tried out. It's not mind-blowing, but if battery life is important to you, these also do feature quick charging, so only 10 minutes worth of charging will give you about 3 hours worth of use. Also important to note, if you use these without active noise canceling, you'll get closer to 30 hours on a single charge before they go dead. As I mentioned earlier, the Hesh ANCs are rocking Bluetooth 5.0, so pairing is super simple and only takes a moment. All that you have to do is hold down the button in between the plus and minus buttons on the right ear cup. That will turn them on and put them in pairing mode. From there, find the Hesh ANCs on your device, connect to them, and you're good to go. The connection with the ANCs for me in terms of walking distance has been pretty good with these. I can pretty much leave my device here in my room upstairs and walk all around my house. The only real time I got some crackling and a disconnection with these is when I went all the way to my garage, and that's to be expected. I say that because there are several walls and a bunch of different electronic interferences in between here and my garage. Now, the Hesh ANCs do have built-in mics for voice calls, so you can take and make voice calls directly from the headphones. I have made a few voice calls using the headphones, and in my opinion, they do a pretty good job of capturing clear speech. Out of all of the calls that I made, I got no complaints in terms of how I sounded, but I did take a sample for you guys so you can judge for yourselves. Let's take a listen. Alright guys, so right now I have the Hesh ANCs paired to my iPhone 12. The audio that you're hearing is coming directly from the microphones on the headphones. Now I'm not going to do any type of editing to this audio, so this should give you a pretty good idea of how you'll sound using these for voice calls. Alright, so moving on and touching on the playback controls, these have 4 physical buttons on the right ear cup that you can use to toggle your ANC on or off and execute your other functions. And a nice thing with these is that you do have all of your essential playback functions. You can control your calls, your volume, active noise canceling, and your tracks. The controls for me so far have been really accurate. I haven't had any issues with the headphones picking up my feedback and executing my commands. You do also have ambient mode with these headphones if that's something that you're interested in. When you have this mode on, the headphones will activate the mics on the outside of the headphones so you can hear more of what's going on around you. Alright, so moving on and talking about how these fit on my head, I have no complaints at all. They have generous amounts of padding pretty much everywhere. The ear cups are pretty soft and plush, and for those of you that are bald like myself, the top headband is pretty comfortable and it shouldn't bother you. I've been able to wear these for a few hours at a time, and in fact this morning I had them on for about 3 hours and I didn't get any ear fatigue or discomfort. Now the Hesh ANCs do get pretty loud, so if you crank them up anywhere above 50%, you are gonna get some leakage. In terms of the leakage, these are gonna leak quite a bit, but when I'm buying Skullcandy headphones, I'm not worried about that. I don't buy them to be quiet. But for those of you that are concerned, I did take a sample for you guys to demonstrate how much they leak. Let's take a listen. Okay guys, so for my ANC test, like all of my ANC headphones, I took them out to my balcony, and I think that these do a pretty good job of blocking out your ambient noise. And one thing that I want to say about the design of these headphones is even when you have ANC off, the way that these surround your ears provides you with some nice passive noise canceling. So that being said, even if you're not using ANC, the way that these surround your ears is gonna filter out some of your ambient noise. However, when you turn active noise canceling on, that just increases your overall level of noise canceling with these headphones. They do a really good job. With ANC on, sounds like cars passing by, the birds chirping, fans buzzing, or an AC running were all filtered out. And one thing that I forgot to mention a little earlier on in the video is that these are not compatible with the Skullcandy app. These also don't have any changeable EQ modes, so the sound that you get out of the box is what you're gonna have to live with. On the other hand, these are compatible with the Tile app, so if you want to keep track of the headphones, they do have that capability. For me, I don't really use the Tile app that much for headphones anymore. I usually use it for earbuds, but for those of you that were wondering if they're compatible, they are compatible with Tile. Alright guys, so moving on and touching on the audio quality with these, although they are not a pair of crushers, the bass really surprised me. Not only that, the highs and mids are also clearer than I expected them to be. Those background vocals and instruments come through just fine. And all of that being said, they are still relatively balanced. Even though the bass is deep and punchy, it does not completely overpower the other frequencies. And in my experience, even when you crank these up to 100% volume, you don't get that much distortion. Now it is worth mentioning that when you have ANC on or off, you will get a slightly different sound. Depending on what you're listening to, with ANC off, the bass may be a little bit more pronounced and the highs and mids may be a little bit more clear. But this can be a little bit hard to gauge because the difference isn't that apparent depending on what type of music you're listening to. But I must say guys, these sound great in both modes. I didn't have an issue enjoying whatever I was listening to with ANC on or off. So for my final word on the Hesh ANCs, if you don't need Skullcandy Crusher bass but you still want to feel it, these are an excellent choice. Now at $130, they're definitely not the cheapest, but when I bought my Venues a couple years back, these cost $180. In comparing the two, the design of the Venues and the design of the Hesh ANCs is really similar. There's not much of a difference. However, I do like the way that these are tuned and the way that these sound a lot better than I like the sound that you'll get with the Venues. I still do use my Venues from time to time and they're not a bad pair of headphones, but the active noise canceling and the sound just didn't blow me away. However, the Hesh ANCs on the other hand, I like the way that they sound and the active noise canceling does perform well. These are going to give you impressive active noise canceling, pretty good audio quality, good call quality, and decent battery life. So all in all, if you're familiar with Skullcandy's usual sound signature, these will not disappoint at all. But if you want everything that Skullcandy has to offer in terms of bass and ANC, you have to go with the Crusher ANCs. But in my opinion, these definitely do have a market. They're a more tame version that are not so hard on the pockets. But that's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. I'll try to get you an answer. As always, guys, thank you for coming through and hanging out with your boy. The support really does mean a lot, and it's helping the channel grow. Until next time, like I always say, y'all be safe, y'all stay positive, and most importantly, have a great day. I'll catch y'all in the next one, but until then, it's your boy Tech Mo, and I'm out. Peace. Before you get on out of here, if you rock with the channel and your boy Tech Mo, hit that subscribe button and knock that notification bell out so you won't miss any of my uploads. Welcome to TM Nation. Peace.